Hey everybody, Darkside Gamer here, and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you were watching my last Bows Only run, that I was pretty stuck on the Dancer. So I decided to take a little break from it and go into the first DLC, The Painted World. Now, this is a very frost-heavy area, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble here. The level of difficulty is probably around the cathedral where you first are able to get into the DLC itself. And as far as getting like upgrade materials, I'm pretty sure I'm still stuck at Titanite shards, so I'm not going to be able to upgrade my bow any further. I'm about as strong as I possibly can be for this point in the game. Mostly, I'm just doing this to get some extra souls, maybe beat the first boss or so, and we'll see how that goes. I won't talk the entire time because this is a 34-minute video, and I just don't think I can talk for the entire 34 minutes. But if you guys do like this kind of stuff, please let me know in the comments. If you guys have any advice for me, please let me know in the comments. I am willing to take any advice on Dancer. Honestly, that fight is giving me a lot of issues, and I don't see it being beaten anytime soon. That unfortunately is the truth, because I just cannot dodge the attacks that she's dealing out well enough. I cannot survive any damage more than maybe 3 hits, I think. So I'm either going to need more levels, I'm either going to need better armor, because the armor I'm using, I like it. It's light, it's somewhat strong, but I'm going to need something better. So my goal is to get some heavier armor that can help with damage reduction, and I'm also hoping to get a fair amount of levels and also stock up on arrows while I'm at it. So I'm hoping I get enough souls for that. Also, if you guys have been enjoying the background music, be sure to check out Notes from Within Official. He has a great variety of music. He's been supplying my music for my videos for the last, I would say, month or so. And honestly, I really enjoy his stuff. So be sure to take a look. His link to the channel will be in the description below. Alright, I'm going to let you guys just enjoy the DLC, and I'll chime in every once in a while. But alright, enjoy. Now this first part of the area, it's not giving me a whole lot of trouble. These guys' attacks are pretty well telegraphed, so I can dodge them pretty easily. They take a lot of damage from my arrows, so that's pretty good, and I can get a bit of space in between, so I can take them out 1 or 2 at a time. It's pretty easy. But before I drop into this very obvious trap, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and it's always free, and you can always unsubscribe later. Now when I drop into this area, just count how many wolves I actually take out when I get down here. It is a stupid amount of wolves. So I only killed 7, and when I was running up this hill, because I just had enough of fighting wolves, I think I seen about 2 or 3 more that were chasing behind me. That is 9 to 10 wolves all attacking you, and I'm using a bow. So yeah, you figure that one out. I'm very surprised I actually got through that without dying, and still with some of my Estus back. So, I'll consider that a win for this video. So I decide to take a different route. There's normally 2 routes that you can take right now. The route I'm currently taking will take me right to a bonfire, and it will allow me to kind of skip past some harder enemies. They're not extremely difficult, but they're also ones I don't really want to deal with at the moment. So I come down here and I get the bonfire, and then I decide to go back and actually go the other route. Now, when I come around this corner, there is a gigantic wolf that does spawn into this area. This is technically a boss. Now, if you fight him here, you will only take him down to about, I want to say, half health or so, and then he'll disappear. You can't actually kill him unless you one-hit him, which I am not going to. Let's face it, I'm using a bow. I'm not going to one-hit anything. But if you take him down there, I'm not sure if he'll actually spawn in the boss fight later on. But just remember, that is a boss. He spawns in during another boss fight as like a companion wolf. I know, I wish I had a companion wolf that was like 20 feet tall. Whatever, that's besides the point. Anyway, I know that I can get a set of armor that is heavy, but not like extremely heavy, and it's pretty durable. It's like these guys, you see like all these dead guards here? It's their armor. So I always liked the look of their armor. I thought it always looked pretty cool. So I think I can come up here and grab it. What I didn't realize is that it's in the form of ashes. So at the very top of this tower, you get the captain's ashes, I believe, and then you can take them back to the Shrine Maiden, and she will give you the access to this armor set to buy. Now, their shields, actually, you can get here, and they provide some passive health regen. Now, you might think that that is extremely good to have, especially in a challenge run like this. Not really, because the passive health regen is slow, and it would make me give up my stamina regen, which in my mind is way more important than health regen. Mostly just because that, like, during a fight, I'm not gonna be dodging around, and I missed that jump, and I'm dead. Oh well, whatever. I'll come back here. Anyways, what I was saying is that I would much rather have the stamina regen over the health regen. Because, like, besides Demon Souls, which actually you could build a decent health regen build, the following games after that, you just couldn't do it. Like, the health regen from items just is not as good as it should be. Well, I say should be, but just not as good as it could be, I guess. Health regen in my mind should be very noticeable, but in this it's just really slow. I know there's a couple items that you can get to kind of stack that effect, but it would also make me give up a lot of items that I'm currently using and that I need in my mind. Okay, so I grabbed the ashes, and now the next time I'm in Firelink, I can trade those in for some items to be able to buy. The only thing left, I believe, in this tower to actually grab is that there's a Titanate Lizard. Oh, and that item there, I believe that's the shield that gives the health regen. But then other than that, it's just the Titanite Lizard that gives me a Twinkling Titanite, which, I mean, if I was actually going to use Twinkling Titanite, yeah, it'd probably be useful. I get it anyway, because you never know. But the only bows that I've been using have been this Black Bow of Ferris, and I think I tried using the Dark Moon Bow, which goes off of Titanite scales, because it's a boss weapon. So Twinkling Titanite isn't really going to be very useful for me. So I go and grab the shield, and I go and grab the Twinkling Titanite just in case, because you never know. I will say that, you never know if you'll need it. And then I continue on with my day. So I teleport back to the bonfire, and I go across this rope bridge. Now, Dark Souls 3 seems to really love its rope bridges and hiding bosses at the bottom of them. And that's exactly what they did here. So you go across, there's another bonfire on the other side, and actually there is a boss fight on the other side of this rope bridge, but that's much later in the DLC when you go through the rest of it. So I'm going to go get this bonfire, come back, and I have figured out that you cannot break a rope bridge with a bow. Now, as you can see, I try to break it with my bow. So I decide to unequip the bow, use my fist to actually break the bridge. I'm sorry if this feels like I have completely negated the whole run because I did something without my bow again, but I wanted to do this boss, so the bridge had to go. If I had to punch it, I had to punch it. Anyways, I remembered going through the DLC numerous times through this game, and this portion always gave me so much trouble. I think mostly it's because I tried rushing down it, because it's a bunch of roots that just you have to walk across and jump down on and try not to get hit by enemies. But this time, it was super easy. I think it's because, one, I'm using a bow, so I have a long range. Two, I decided to actually take my time and take everything out as I was going, instead of jumping down, running like hell, and hoping to God they don't hit me. But that's just, I don't know. I seem to really overthink things when I start rushing, but when I take my time, I can think things through, fire my bow, and take everything out as I go. But honestly, this area did not give me a whole lot of trouble. They have a few items on it, but nothing like too noteworthy, and honestly, it doesn't take me too long to get down it. It's mostly just staying out of the way of some arrows and making sure I don't get knocked off, because that will kill me if I drop from here. And then I just make my way to the bottom. And there's a bonfire at the bottom, so I don't have to do this climb again, so that's really good. Yeah, I'll be back when I'm at the bottom of the tree. And just like that, I'm at the bottom of the tree. Now, like I said, there is a bonfire at the bottom, so I don't have to do that drop down ever again, thank God. I actually had a few close calls, but mostly just because I was misstepping a lot. So I get the bonfire lit, and I decide to go left. Now there's two giant crabs there. Fighting them would be just a huge pain and take me a lot more arrows than I would like. So I lure them back, and I decide to just run around them. So keep in mind this little hilltop here that I'm on, because it will be back here. These trees, I also want to talk about them. They were actually giving me a little bit of trouble. Not because of, like, they killed me a lot. They were just dealing a fair amount of damage, because they do these, like, that little fire spell. They deal a fair amount of damage to me. And unless I use fire arrows to light them on fire, they take a fair amount of arrows to actually kill. And if you're not careful, they can do some frost damage to you and give you frostbite. Now, if you don't know, frostbite was not a thing in Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2. It was brought in Dark Souls 3. Now, in Night Rain and in Elden Ring, Frostbite, obviously, it works extremely well. Frostbite in this, I don't think that they fully thought it through. It does a small chunk of damage, and I think it lowers your stamina regen, but I honestly can't remember. And it doesn't work all that well, so it's just hard to use as an actual build. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone in the comments can obviously correct me. I'm always love being given new information about these games that I love. So yeah, Frostbite I don't think is very viable in this game. I think a lot of people will agree with me on that. But I get through this portion, and honestly, I don't think that there's anything actually at the back of this little path. I just wanted to get through just to see if there was, because honestly, I can't remember half the items in this DLC because I've done it maybe 3 or 4 times, but honestly, it's been so long since I've actually played through it that I can't remember the items. Yeah, so there's one item, and it's Snap Freeze. So in case you didn't know, that is a sorcery. I'm not doing sorceries, so I can't use it. So, off I go. Now, if you remember that ledge that I was on a few seconds ago, there is now a ladder there that takes me all the way back up to the top. So you're kind of thinking, why would they put a bonfire at the bottom if you just have a ladder that takes you right up to the top and on the other side of the bridge where there's already a bonfire? Do you want to go down a ladder every single time that you die to a boss? Nah, I didn't think so. I'd rather have a bonfire at the bottom. But, like I said, this will take me all the way back up to the top, so I can just continue on the other side of the bridge when I'm done down here. So I climb up to the top, rest of the bonfire, and I teleport back down to the other bonfire that's at the bottom because I don't feel like climbing down a bunch of ladders today, and it is boss time. Now this boss is technically 2 bosses. It's that giant wolf that I was talking about earlier, and its master, I guess, or its champion. You fight the champion until he's about at, I want to say half health, and then the wolf will come in. They are a pretty effective duo because the wolf will literally just keep rushing back and forth. But whatever, I don't know if I can do it or not, but I'm just going to stop talking and let you guys enjoy the fight. Okay, so the fight didn't go exactly how I wanted to, but I don't think it was too bad of a first attempt. I really think I can do this within a few attempts, and honestly, I don't think I'll have too much trouble with it. But that's all I got for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching to the end, and I hope you have a really great day. All right, bye bye.